One of my favorite experiences when I was traveling around Thailand was doing a meditation retreat with the monks, with the Buddhist monks in the middle of the mountains, and I recommend absolutely everyone to go. So I really want to share my experience and hopefully inspire other people to do it because it's so worth it. So my name is Camila. I'm a solo traveler, content creator, digital nomad. I've been traveling around the world for the last 2 years and a half, just sharing my experience and hopefully inspiring other people to do the same. Just get out there, get to know themselves, and just see the world because it's absolutely beautiful. Because there's so many different ways to live your life. So you just need to choose your own and get to know yourself as much as you can. So if you're interested in any of these topics, then subscribe, stick around, and let's get into the meditation retreat. I spent 5 months in Thailand and I really didn't want to leave without visiting the north. Everyone goes to the south and underestimates the north. So I went there and I visited Chiang Mai, Pae, and I came across this meditation retreat. I've been wanting to do one for a very long time, but most of them are vipassanas that are for 10 days, silent retreats. And as I was working remotely, I couldn't do one that was that long. And through recommendation, I found this one that is called Pae Meditation Retreat. It's between Chiang Mai and Pae, up in the north of Thailand. It's literally in the middle, so it's like 1.5 hours from each place. And it's honestly so beautiful because it's in the middle of the mountains. Very like remote. There's not a lot of people around there. It's very local. So much space to be surrounded by nature, meditate in so many different spots. We'll get into how a day looks like in there. Apart from the meditation itself, it's honestly a beautiful spot to visit either way. So you arrive and they give you a place to sleep. It's usually like a very small room, and yeah, you just have space to leave your stuff and very basic accommodation. This is how the place basically looked like. It was tiny but cozy and I loved it. I slept really well in there. I'll show you around, give you some white clothes because you need to dress in white, but they provide you the clothes, and whenever you want to change them, you just go get some new ones. I did the meditation, like the structured meditation retreats. So over there you have either 3-day retreats. So I did it over the weekend as I was working, so I didn't have to take any days off or anything. I think 2 or 3 times a month they do this like 3-day intense meditation retreats, like the structured one. So you're going to be doing it with a lot more people. It was like 60 of us. And if not, you can go whenever you want and stay for a week, 2 weeks, as long as you like. But I would definitely recommend if you can do one of the guided ones, because you're going to have a lot more like talks with the monks, and it's gonna be a lot easier to get started and to get to know the place and get to know people around. It was so nice to meet other like-minded travelers that were also around my age, which I was very surprised that our travelers are interested in meditation and yoga and mindfulness in general. So it was a really nice place also to meet other travelers. So how did our days look like? Basically, we woke up every day around like 5:30 because our first meditation was at 6. So we would all meet up sometimes around the fire in the morning, sometimes in like a closed space, and we would meditate for around an hour to an hour and a half. Silent meditation in the mornings, or sometimes we would do like walking meditations in the mornings. It was an hour and a half. Sometimes we did chanting as well before the meditation and just did a shorter meditation. We would finish around 7, half 7, so we would have sometimes half an hour free because breakfast was at 7:30. So we would eat all together. They prepared really tasty meals. And after that, we would have like an hour free. That's the same. You could walk around, do some yoga, or read a little bit. And the second meditation of the day was at 9:30. We would meditate for like 40 minutes and then just talk with the monks. After the second meditation, we would have lunch all together at 11:30, and that was the last meal of the day because the monks only had breakfast and lunch, and then they fast until the next day because they go to bed around like 9, so we had to stick to that schedule. If you were starving, you could go out and get some food, but the idea was to stick to that schedule. They wanted to have an empty stomach to meditate at night, and in the next morning it's like the best way so you're not super tired and everything. So we would eat lunch at 11:30 and have some time off until the third meditation of the day at 2 p.m. At 2 p.m. we would usually have, it was like 2 hours where we would meditate for a bit, but usually we would have more of like a active session where we would speak with the monks, ask questions, or they would share some life stories or how they got there. So it was really nice. Most of the monks spoke really good English, so it was very easy to communicate with them. And not all of them were Thai. It was really nice also to see people from other nationalities. So we would finish around 4:30, and we would have some more free time if you wanted to go take a shower, walk around, do some yoga. There was this spot that was absolutely beautiful where you could just walk up for 20 minutes. There were yoga mats up there. So yeah, I would usually just go up there and enjoy or read for a little bit, but that was my favorite sunset spot. And we would do the last meditation of the day at 8 p.m, usually around a fire or with candles. And yeah, that was it. So we would finish around 9:30, and it was time to sleep and wake up again the next day at 5:30. The nice thing also was that each day would vary like a little bit. So one day we went in the afternoon to meditate to the river. One day we did candle meditation, one day walking meditation. So they just showed us so many different techniques, and they really take the time to teach you and show you different ways of meditating. They give you 3 books when you arrive, so it was really informative, and I really feel like I learned a lot in those 3 days. And even though I had been meditating before, it was just different to actually know how to do it properly. They take the time to explore different ways of meditating and see which one works best for you. The first day, it's a silent day. That's what they recommend. So the first day, everyone is silent, and after that, you can choose to either stay silent or just talk to people. Of course, you're not talking when you're meditating, but I chose to do 2 days silent retreat, so you could just grab like a badge that said silence and people wouldn't speak to you. Some people would just go and do a whole week of silence or 2 weeks of silent meditation retreats, which I think I would like to do at some point. But yeah, I only did 2 days silence, and the third day, as we were already doing activities and like a couple more things and like closing, it was nice to actually talk to people and connect. I got here because someone recommended this place. I searched, there was one starting the day literally after I landed in Chiang Mai. I think it's meant to be, I think I need to go. So that's how I signed up. It was so funny also because the place is between Chiang Mai and Pae. You need to book like this tiny buses because the road is quite like windy and it's not super easy to get there. So I was trying to book a bus ticket, but the page was not working for me. It didn't let me. So I just went to the bus station and hoped that they would let me go in a bus or there was space or something. And there was no more space on the buses. But as soon as I arrived, there was this guy asking if he could get his money back because he accidentally bought 2 tickets. I spoke to him and I offered to like buy his ticket. So yeah, I basically got a ticket and met him and 2 other girls that were going. How to book it? You can just book it on their webpage. You don't even have to like pay for anything. You just book your spot. It's called Pae Meditation Retreat. I will leave the website below. In terms of price, it was 500 baht a day. That's what they recommend you as a donation because it's like donation based. They recommend 500 baht a day so they can cover accommodation, food, and all the expenses in general. You could leave more or less depending on what you were able to leave as a donation. I personally love this place because I've been wanting to do a meditation retreat for so long. And I think this one was just a perfect balance of just meditating, meeting people, connecting with nature. So in terms of my experience while being there, I loved it. I recommend everyone to go there. And everyone that I met after that, I was like, you need to go to this place. And they all went and loved it as well. I also loved doing the silent retreat and doing it for 2 days instead of 1. I actually wanted to go back and do more days because I felt that it was so nice and important. Just made me realize how much noise we have in our minds. I feel like a lot of times we know that we have this voice that speaks to us, but actually taking 1 or 2 days without talking to anyone makes you realize how much noise we actually have and how much we judge or how much we just talk to ourselves or how much we even judge ourselves or the smallest situations and how much energy we waste just thinking about things that sometimes don't even make sense. So it was nice to just recognize that and yeah, not be too harsh on myself, but make peace with it and be conscious about it. The place was beautiful, and what I really enjoyed as someone that has been meditating for a long time was to actually get proper techniques in different ways for you to find your own and explore which one works best for you. I thought that was so useful, and I love that the monks were so open to answering absolutely any question, even if it was personal, about Buddhism, about their personal lives, about their experiences. I feel like I've learned so much in 3 days, and I took so much with me. And I would definitely recommend, if you can have a journal with you, well, I always take it with me when traveling, and especially if you're going to do the silent days, to take a journal with you and write down things and write down how you feel, what's going on in your mind. It was an experience that really made an impact on myself, so I actually really like reading back the pages from those days and just seeing what I was feeling, what I was thinking, and it just takes me back to that feeling and to like things that I want to keep on having and reminding myself in my daily life. You have Wi-Fi there if you want to stay connected. I decided to take home like phone break. I just had it with me to check the time because we had like a busy schedule in places we had to be. But all my data, like my phone was in airplane mode. I didn't want to know anything of the outside world. And I would definitely recommend to do that and just take some time off and actually just focus on yourself, your mind, your feelings, whatever's going on in there, and then be very present. It was so nice to just stay in a place. We were meditating for like 4 or 5 hours a day, which was a lot. When you're not meditating, actually taking the time to just read or walk, you just realize how long the days are and how much time we spend in our phones or just talking, sometimes having conversations that are not that meaningful. So it was just nice to take a little break from all of that and actually take it seriously. But you can choose to have your phone or not, depending on what plan you go and what's your idea of what you want to get out of it. So all in all, as you could probably tell, I definitely recommend everyone going. If you get the chance to go to this place, and great. If not, there's multiple places in the north of Thailand or Indonesia or wherever you go. But doing a meditation retreat, I always thought it was something that I always wanted to do, but that I thought was going to be a bit more structured or harder to find. And it's so out there, and it was honestly a much nicer experience than I thought it was going to be, and I actually plan to go back whenever I have the chance or do another one. So I would definitely recommend doing it. If you have any questions about Thailand, the north of Thailand, the meditation retreat itself, please leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.